everybody, and welcome back to Kalmuli Art. Today I am going to be discussing why I've been absent for the last almost a year. And that's mostly just because of some big family events, but also I don't have the time because of work. So in this drawing that I'm going to be kind of doing a voiceover for, I'll be drawing the character of Laville, who is a jester of a friend of mine I do an active role play with, and he's kind of an evil jester whose main skill is acting like a very annoying bard that is currently scheming something, but we don't know what yet as far as our role play is going. So going back all the way to January at the beginning of this year, it was relatively uneventful. New Year's, I ended up going to a pub with my boyfriend at the time, and we did this kind of nice little event. It wasn't huge. It was kind of a multi-floor theme thing where everything was themed Monopoly for the New Year's party, and so we welcomed in the New Year that way. Moving on to February. February was a little harder. So back in February, I actually got into a pretty bad car crash. And I'm not talking like, I got thrown from the car or anything. So what happened was that we actually had this bad winter storm, so the roads ended up being this little super slushy. I used to drive a little green Scion that is not really good for driving on really slushy roads. So I was driving out the main road of my town, and the back of my tire started to slide, and I ended up trying to correct myself and ended up cracking myself right into a ditch and right into a horse fence. And what's worse is that, I actually got to meet the horse in the field, because there was actually a horse still living in that field. It wasn't just an empty field. So I figured out her name was Molly, and I was super panicked because I didn't have like a lead or anything or reins to try to catch her and keep her from trying to go out into traffic. Luckily, I got super lucky that the neighbor across the street, who actually owns horses herself, actually came to my rescue and helped get the horse Molly back into a pen on her side of the road, since the horse actually came over a couple of times to visit hers. And I was super grateful that they helped me out. Can't remember the names of the life of them, but there was a big hole in the side of the road that my family and my boyfriend would make fun of and said, "Yep, that's your special hole made for you." So that was pretty embarrassing. But luckily, that same month, I actually, it's my birthday, so I was turning 29 at the time. And I talked with my boyfriend, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll go to the Korean spa." And the Korean spa is kind of a little ways out of town, so he picked me up, and we went, and we kind of enjoyed ourselves. Like, both of us are not young people. We're kind of late 20s and early 30s, and you kind of have to take care of yourself. So what we did is we actually, we went into the big hot tubs and everything. We went out to the spa area, which is where they have the multiple different rooms you can go in that are different temperatures. So you can go from one to the next. And they even had a cold room, so if you need to cool off and take a break, you could do that too. What I also like is that they also had a cafe where you could get like bubble tea and Korean food. So we sat down and enjoyed that. Then afterwards, we went to some of the Asian supermarkets like H Mart and such in our area and did a little bit of shopping because I have a weakness for cute little tiny things. So I found a really cute Pikachu pencil sharpener and a few other little doohickeys. Moving on from that, in March, I finally got the money from the insurance to go and get a new car. So I've been debating of trying to find the same car, but I figured, it was kind of time to move on from my little tiny starter car to get something a little bit bigger. So I settled on a Honda CR-V. Felt like I paid a little bit too much for it, but in the end, I've been driving it since March, and it's actually been kind of a saving grace. It's got heated seats and moonroof, so it's definitely a big change of pace from what I had before. April, we decided that I was going to take some time off, and we went to Disney World. Now, I hadn't been to Disney World since I was about 10 years old, which is kind of crazy because it's like not that far from where I live. Like, maybe not even a 17-hour drive, which is completely doable. We left really super early in the morning and then went into and drove throughout the night. Ended up going and getting to Disney World around probably like 10. And then we settled into the hotel room and went to kind of explore the area because this is my first time doing a Disney resort. But it was also a really big special moment for me and my boyfriend especially because we got engaged. And it was super, super romantic. Like, he really treated me like a princess, and we went to the French Quarter Resort that's at Disney. We went on a horse carriage ride, and we got to meet the horse Grady and his driver, who actually turned out to be the driver of the Cinderella carriage for when they do like the big pumpkin carriage for weddings and such. And we stopped at a gazebo. He read me a beautiful poem, which he won't let me read, but one of these days we're going to, probably for the wedding, have him read it out. I'm hoping. But he got down on one knee, and I cried, he cried, I ruined his shirt with my makeup, and then we went to Disney Springs, and we went to Morimoto's for dinner. May kind of went pretty fast. I was kind of a little bit excited because we're still getting over getting engaged, and I was getting ready for Memorial Day because of my job. I'm in retail, so big holidays like Memorial Day are our money-making days. So I was pretty busy with that. Celebrated 2 years, no, not 2 years, 3 years working with the company. And, that's all I got to say about that. Getting on to a bit of a tougher subject. June and July, I usually have like major depression, and it's not something that I openly talk about. And like, for me, it was during a time when I was at a previous job, and it was not a job that benefited my mental health and wellness. So I ended up, doing something that I won't kind of discuss here quite yet. I'll probably bring it up in a future video. But around this time of year, especially around the summer, it gets increasingly difficult for me. And I had to ask my boss back in June, probably like late June, if I could actually like take a break and take an extra day off just so I can get myself actually rested. Because for the last 2 months, it just feels like I'm walking on thin ice or walking on a tightrope of where I don't feel like I'm super happy, but I'm ready to rip somebody's head off. Like working in customer service, it'll suck the living life out of you. Yeah, if you want to ask a little bit more about it, you can message me, but I won't go into too much details right now. But currently, this is my current plan for the channel. I want to do more videos like this where kind of openly discuss what's going on. I want to kind of showcase as I'm drawing, show what I do, what kind of tools I use, And then from there, we'll see how it goes. And then I also have plans of going back to school. I've been researching some local community colleges. I have a bachelor's degree already. I have one in Asian Studies and Fine Arts. But I kind of want to take my fine arts to kind of the next level, if that makes sense. Because I've been doing kind of research, I've been looking out, and I want to use what skills that I have to go into graphic design. Because I always see jobs for a graphic designer, I'm like, you know what? I could be doing something that actually would probably make me a little bit happier. And from there, we'll see how it goes. So I'm just researching programs in my area. There's 2 community colleges within driving distance of where I live. And, my fiance has actually recommended that I try going to the one that's north of me, because it tends to be a little bit cheaper than the one that's south of me, than the ones that's kind of closer for where I used to live, about probably like 35, 40 minutes away. Either way, I'm still doing research on it, but if anybody has any prior experience being a graphic designer or went to school for graphic design, you can kind of give me some advice down below in the comments, because that'll kind of give me an idea and hopefully not be a major deterrent, but we'll see, because this is something that I really want to do. I want to get out of retail. I want to get out of this funk where I don't get to do anything creative except put up stupid red, white, and blue garlands for big holidays. And as much as I can sit and draw at work, I really just I want to use it in a way that would not only just make me a little bit more money, but also would generally make me a little bit happier. So comment down below if you have any questions about the video today. I'm going to just play music the rest of the way throughout the video as the drawing's finishing up. And thanks you guys for coming back to visiting Kalmuli Art. I'm Kalmuli, signing out.